Welcome back to New Talk. I'm your host, Miss Faye, and I'm here with the new ladies.
Hey.
Tonight we're going to start the show with news you should know with Anna.
Hi guys. So welcome to a new segment that we're going to be doing at the top of our show every Sunday. It's news you should know. In this past week, one of the current events that occurred was the verdict came back on the case against Dylan Roof. If you do not know who this young man is, he was he walked into a church in Charleston, South Carolina, a black church, and they welcomed him in for prayer, and he began shooting. He shot and killed 9 individuals in the church, and if you read upon it, there was no remorse. He openly admitted to it. So the verdict came back guilty. So what will be coming up in January will be the sentencing, whether he should be executed or if he'll be doing life in prison. One of the things that we want to hear from you guys is, what do you think? Do you think that this young man that committed this crime should do life and think about what he did, or should he be just executed, and since he took life away from someone, should they no longer allow him to, live on? And let's just keep in mind, one of the things in the actual trial, the witness spoke, and she was talking about how this young man walked up to her. She was in the church at the time he was shooting, and he asked her, "Did I shoot you yet?"
Wow. And
her response was, "No, you haven't." And he said, "Well, I'm not going to shoot you. I'm going to let you live so that you can tell the story." And to add insult to injury, when the FBI was interrogating him, you can see these clips. When they asked him about it, he said, "Yeah, I said that." You just took 9 lives away, and you just still find that this, issue isn't a problem. So, and in future topics, I hope you guys join us. It will open up a conversation for 2 things. This young man, he's not taking the mental illness, mental health option. He's just literally going as is. So one thing is mental health. That'll be a future topic, and the other one will be parental involvement. This young man recorded himself on a camera doing target practice with weapons, like real weapons. So it's like, what parent, is allowing this? Why would you allow your child to set himself down this path? He even did research on other black churches in the area that he would basically, I guess, decide to target. And this was the one particular church he went to. So, take time, leave your comments, let us know what you think about the issue, and let us know, what you think they should come back with on the verdict.
I think he should get the death penalty. That's just mine.
That's too easy.
Right. I just kind of think he should just kind of be out. Just kind of let that be over.
All right, let us know what you guys think. Please comment below. And every week it will be a new topic for news you should know. But tonight's topic is abusive relationships. And it's very important that we talk about this, because we know there's a lot of ladies and men that are going through this right now. I would like to start off by asking you ladies, what do you guys think an abusive relationship is? Let's start off with you, Moya.
Okay, basically to me, abusive relationship is just like you putting your hand on someone instantly, like, without even no means, or even if you do have a need, there's no need for you to put hands on someone.
What about you, Nisha?
Same, physical and mental as well. Downgrading who I am as a person, my character, everything. That's also physical. Abusive. Yes.
Ashley?
Yeah, I agree with what they're saying. Negative energy in any form, I think, is kind of abuse.
And you, Anna?
I feel abusive relationship is just something where every day you don't feel comfortable just being you. You have to kind of adjust how you're going to do and go about your way because of someone else's, intent towards you and controlling of what you can and can't do.
Yeah.
So why do you guys think people stay in abusive relationships? What do you think, Nisha?
My biggest thing in staying in an abusive relationship would be love. That's like the toughest bond you can really, really break. So I feel like that right there, if love is always coming up, it's hard to just let that person go just because they downgraded you or they put their hands on you, because they can always say sorry. You know what I'm saying? And that heart will always open up again. But it's up to you to realize when is enough is enough.
What do you think, Ashley?
Love, like she said, love is a really tough emotion, and I think it comes down to each individual defining what love means to them. And when you are in a relationship, whether it's abusive or not, if you love this person, you believe in them just like you think they believe in you. and you believe they can change, you know, and sometimes things do. So that's why it's really hard to figure out, is this love or is it not, you know?
Right.
That's why I think a lot of people get stuck.
Well, do you guys think people stay in abusive relationships because they're afraid? Like, are they scared to get out?
Yeah. Some of them is scared to get out and be alone. Because I know a lot of people, they don't like to be by themselves. It's like free them out to be by themselves. I don't know why, because if you love yourself, it should be okay. But that's one of the big things. And sometimes it's also financial support. If you're living with a guy, you're not working, you're taking care of the kids, he's doing everything, he's abusive, he's beating you up, you know, verbally, mentally, doing all of that. It's like, for a woman with like 2 or 3 kids, you don't want to just up and leave because you're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna be lost. Where am I gonna go with my kids? So that's also get the person stuck into that situation.
Yeah. Most people don't see that light at the end of the tunnel. So they don't think leaving is the best for them because they don't see the other options that may be available. So I think that's another reason why you'll probably stay in it longer than necessary.
And that's all sometimes people know. It's like you stay in that relationship and it's something about it. It's like you just get used to it, and it's just like you just it's a habit, and you just end up just staying
right,
and
and
you don't even know what else is better out there for you. So that's another issue.
I know when I say afraid, if they're getting hurt and beat up at home, do you think that they're scared to leave because they'll probably get killed or maybe hurt even more?
Yeah,
sometimes you do try to live a relationship and the guy doesn't allow you to.
Exactly.
He threatens you or tells you he'll do worse things to you.
Your family or your kids.
Yeah, and that makes it even more difficult. So it really takes for you to, find ways. There's options. There's always options. Where there's a will, there's a way. There's that saying. So
if you want to get out,
if you want to, tell people, talk to people around you, join groups, do something in your community. Just get other people involved in it maybe and ask for help, look for help.
And some people don't have friends. Like, I know a lot of people like that, they don't socialize with
Very
people
true.
because either the person that is doing abuse try to keep them away from their friends, so it's like they don't have anybody. So
also embarrassment.
Exactly.
Some people are embarrassed and don't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going to become that person that, they're always talking about. And then sometimes even with the fear, it's also that fear of, well, okay, fine if I leave, but then that fear of what if he finds me again?
Right. What is going to happen? I know you said something about kids.
Yes.
I know, Anna, you have a daughter. Do you think a lot of people do stay in relationships for the kids, or are they using that as an excuse?
I feel like they use it as an excuse. They use it as a crutch. But then it kind of all ties in because then it's like, okay, how am I going to hurry up and pack up my kid and go?
Right.
And they continue to stay and they think, and then the other biggest thing is, unfortunately, in our head, when we get into a marriage, when we get into a relationship and we have a child, the one thing we say we want is to have a family. We want, especially if a lot of us grew up being in a single parent household, you don't want your child back in that situation. So it's like, okay, fine, he could beat me behind the door, but at the end of the day, when my child comes out of their room, they're gonna see mommy and daddy. They'll they'll grow up knowing mommy and daddy was always there, not knowing what mommy or daddy had gone through behind the closed doors.
Right.
But it's crazy because kids they can see that. You know what I'm saying? They can
You
feel
try to
the
hide it,
tension,
but,
even though you hide it or you cover it up with makeup. They pick up on it so easily. Like, I remember when like my dad only one time he first hit my mom, but after that he never hit her again. But it's like I grew up just seeing that, and it will always replay in my head. And then I will always say when I would get mad, it's like, one day mom's gonna leave you. You know that, like, one day mom is just gonna be fed up and we left.
And I think when we allow the kids, when we think that we're doing it for the kids, we're doing more damage because, believe it or not, you are now starting to set, in these young minds, you're starting to set a precedence of how they're going to be, whether it's a boy or a girl. The girl, as a woman, she'll say, okay, it's okay. As long as we're together and I have my husband, it's okay to be hit. And then you have a son that it'll be, okay, I can hit her. She's always going to stay because look at how my mom and my dad stay together. So you start to set these little nuggets into their brains that, instead of breaking the cycle, you're continuing it.
Well, I know a few of you ladies agreed that people stay in relationships because of love. Yeah. But how can you say that when love is supposed to be something good, right?
Some people don't know love.
Yeah.
Some people feel like say for instance you like you see your parents doing it and they be like, oh, we still love each other at the end of the day. Because I know mom who do that to protect the kids. They come back and be like, Dad love me. It's just like I act away so he react to it. So a child gonna grow and be like, okay, so that's love. So if my dad beat my mom and she say that he love her, well, if I'm getting beat, I guess I'm loved too.
He love me.
Yeah.
He love me.
Yeah.
So
It takes for each person to define for themselves what love is, and it should be a positive feeling, but for some people, you have to go through the bad to feel the good. So some people are all for that fight just to make up, and then they call that love. So it's really about what you feel like
within yourself.
Yeah, well, as parents, it's like we need to stop saying, do what I say, not as I do. That's first of all, we need to stop saying that, because I'm going to watch you. I'm watching you every single day. You're the only person that I can watch in real life besides the TV. You know what I'm saying? So you like saying, yeah, you're my role model. At the end of the day, your parents are always going to be the role model. Regardless of whatever celebrities is hot and popping, they're not supposed to be the role model for your child. You know what I'm saying? They don't live for your child. They live for them. You know what I'm saying? You're living for your child, so you're the one that should be representing a higher power of what a person should be, or how a woman should act, and how a man should act. You know what I'm saying? Like,
as human beings, we are creatures of habit, and so once we get in the habit of doing something, that's just who we are. And a lot of us will find our identities in the things that we go through. I'm this way because of what I go through, and I go through it because I choose to. Like that's the identity you take on. But you really have to feel, like you have to feel what feels good to you, and you have to go with that. You can't allow yourself to feel bad all the time just to get a little bit of good. It's like the yin and yang.
Right. Well, everyone tuning in right now, please comment, tell us what you think, and also share this video. We have a lot more to talk about, so please keep on watching.
Ask questions.
Yes, please.
We're here.
We talked about physical abuse, but there's also verbal abuse.
Yes.
Have anybody here been verbally abused before?
Yeah, by people close to me, actually. Just people who have different mindsets than you. They actually will mentally or verbally abuse you without even knowing that they're doing it.
Right.
And when you're in a certain place, you kind of will accept it as tough love, criticism, or something like that. But it's abuse, because it hurts you. And then you don't realize that you're changing what you're doing now. You're changing how you do something because of what someone else said to you. And that's how a lot of us get just kind of thrown off of our path. And we get stuck in this mode. We're living to please others instead of pleasing ourselves.
Anna, how would you define verbal abuse?
Verbal abuse, I would say, is every time I try to do something and I try to be me, you shut me down with your words. You tell me I'm not worthy, I'm not worth it. Or every time I express a dream, you're like, you're never going to do that. Just putting me down every time I'm even, it's not even showing any support. It's like anytime I say I'm going to do anything, you just start putting me down, telling me how I will never amount to things, and even bringing up my past, which may be why I'm even in the situation in the first place. And continue that cycle.
Misha, it seems like you have something to say.
No, I was agreeing with her because yes, like you would tell somebody your deepest, darkest secrets. You know what I'm saying, and you find in that, and then when you guys get in an argument, you bring that up, and it crushes me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I told you that in secrecy, and for you to bring that up again, it's gonna hurt me, son. Like you're taking a low blow and an easy shot. You know what I'm saying? That's that abuse, man. And that will break you down to you can't even move on with your own life anymore. You live in the shadow behind somebody else.
Right. And I think that kind of abuse can come from friends. Now, it can come from relationships too, but it can come from your friends. It's abusive friendships exist. You have that friend that's waiting for the moment to throw something back in your face, and it hurts you. And then you go back to this person, and you're going to share more of your life with them because this is your friend. And you believe you trust them and you love them the same kind of way.
What do you guys think about women that hit men?
Why?
Is it okay that a woman would hit a guy? Do you think that's okay?
No, because at the end of the day, any type of physical abuse just shouldn't be accepted.
So that's still considered abuse if it's a woman doing it. Just to make sure we're all on the same page.
Yes, it's still.
I think
so. We have a question.
We have a question. Anna's gonna look up the question while we go into the next topic.
We have Travis Sands.
I don't know about this one, Travis.
Okay, so Travis says, "What is your perfect image of a man?" Travis, who you trying to holler at?
I know. Who's talking about abuse right now?
Ashley, answer that question.
image, I mean, that's for everyone to decide. But my perfect image of a man is just someone who loves me for who I am and love meaning someone who's positive with me as I'm being positive with them.
Yeah.
That's
What
really
about you,
it.
Risha?
Somebody that I can grow with, be goofy, have fun,
Me
and
too.
just be me, and you don't have to look at me as like, oh my gosh, she's actually weird. Like, let me be weird. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let me be goofy.
Be weird with you.
And yeah, be weird with me, man. And just follow me, and I'll follow you. That's
Anna, do we have any other questions?
We have not a question, but we do have a comment from Salty. She said, "Physical abuse is real. I just buried a friend yesterday
Oh my.
who was shot by her baby's father. When
Oh
you
my.
have the opportunity to leave, please leave."
Oh my God, our
And I think-
condolences.
Yeah, we're
Our
sorry
condolences.
about
And
that,
I think
but
that was
is
something we
true,
were
yeah.
even talking about was, when you have a friend that you know is in that situation, family member, how do you really
Get them out.
try
How
to
do you get
help? How do you really, I can tell you you're not in a good place. You know you're not in a good place. I can tell you, okay, you need to leave. You know you need to leave. So then how, do we allow ourselves and make our minds open to be able to take the hints and the help when people are trying to offer it and not hopefully bring them down?
Well,
Yeah.
that goes back to what we said earlier. Is like when a woman said like she had enough. You know what I'm saying? Like you really have to feel it within yourself. Like when you've reached out
Feel
your
it.
own breaking point, that's when you should leave. But you should have been left. You know what I'm saying? But it's up to you to really reach that breaking point. And you have to know within yourself, like, yo, I really have to go. Like your friend can tell you all day, 24/7. You know what I'm saying? But you're still gonna be there until you're ready, until you find yourself and you know what you want.
Right, and like you were saying earlier, if you know someone who's in it, don't necessarily just tell them, get out of it, girl, that's not what you, but ask them, ask those probing questions. What do you want from life? Who do you think you are? Like, what type of person do you want to be in life? What kind of stamp do you want to leave behind? Who do you have to live for?
Yes.
Ask those questions like you were telling me earlier. That evokes an emotion out of a person. And once those emotions come up, they realize this emotion of what I want to be is stronger than this emotion of what I'm dealing with. So I'm going to let that go. So
Yes, because
keep trying.
you're opening a part that they didn't even think to tap
Yes,
into. You know what I'm
yes.
saying? So with those probing questions, they start to visualize your whole surroundings change.
Yes.
Your whole scenery, how you look at things, your eyes are starting to open up and be like, wow, life is actually beautiful if I actually took the chance to step out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Right before I get into this question, to piggyback on what Misha said, I think one thing that might help. We all know it's very easy to suggest something,
Yeah.
but if if someone ever sat with you and actually put out a plan, how to on this day let's go look at this and let's set this up, and then it starts to make it easier. It starts to look more like, okay, maybe I can do this.
Yes.
Maybe I can go ahead and get out. This is the way I'll financially be able to support myself.
Yeah.
So I have a question, and this is actually a very good one. Today I saw a woman in an abusive relationship in a public place. I didn't know her. How should you react to that?
That's great.
It's hard
That's a
to-
great
yeah, that's
question.
hard to-
That was my situation today. I was sitting in the car in the parking lot with my boyfriend, and we saw a woman and a man arguing, and he was like, getting really aggressive, like, I'm tired of you, you better back up. I think he pushed her once and just was coming off as if like, you need to move because I'm about to snap. And we couldn't really see, it was like a wall, but you could hear it and see what was going on, and we didn't get into that. I don't really know I don't know. It was crazy
what's
watching it.
interesting
My
is-
first thought was to record it. Let me just record it. I don't know what's gonna pop off. But
But it's
after
like,
I
what
would
is
just
it?
kind
You
of let them
hear
go.
what is it? You say, if
Yeah.
you see something, say
Say
something.
something.
But and I think this is a problem in our society,
Yeah.
where everybody has a gun. No one knows how to take something properly. It's like, what do you do? I mean,
What
and
do
you know,
you do?
and I think. And this may be more cultural, our society, we're very hesitant to call 911.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately, a
snitching,
Caucasian
right.
person will most likely go and call 911
Yeah.
versus, a black person be like, that ain't my business,
Take a
and keep
video.
moving.
Yeah.
And I think we need to stop being afraid of that, even if it's just a quick tip and say, hey, this is going on here, and keep it moving, because unfortunately, you don't know what life you could have saved.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
that's
true.
true.
And then again, I would have to say, like, all right, in situation that I see sometimes, it's different. Like, let's say in your situation, it looked like the woman was the attacker.
The man.
The man was the aggressive one. Okay, with that, sometimes more likely somebody will step into that. But if the woman's the aggressor, most of the time people will just sit there and
And let
just
it go,
watch.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Record and be like, ooh, Kodo,
Yeah.
world.
Yeah, so like with that it's kind of different because it's like we don't put it in the same category. We still try to separate, but it's
yeah.
the same thing. Like doesn't matter if it's coming from a woman or
It's
a
like
man.
a gender
still-
bias, and
Yeah.
you know, it's like, okay, we want equality. Well,
Yes.
that shouldn't have gender bias. Wrong is wrong. Point simple and blank.
Very true.
Let me give you guys a synopsis, okay? What if a woman is consistently beating up her man,
Mhm.
and then one day he flips and hit her back, and she calls 911, and he goes to jail? What do you have to say about that?
It's like I can't. It's
Yeah.
like okay, I can't be too mad, but I can still be mad. Reason why is because at the end of the day, men, you should know this. You have a strength that you don't even understand that you can unlock onto a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's a beast mode when y'all get mad and y'all you guys put your hands on a girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, they're still gonna be wrong because it's like, yo, you could have just left.
Walk
I
away,
understand,
yeah.
and don't get me wrong, I get that. I understand, like, yo, why am I still wrong? Because you still laid that hands when you could have been a bigger person like
And
you
walk
were
out.
before and just walk away. And you should have known to walk away in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? When she first started doing the damages. You know what I'm saying? You know when the time was right to go, but that's like the same as a girl. You know when the time is right to leave, but you
Stick
stay
around, yeah.
to still see if I can take more.
So men are pretty much in the same situation as women,
Yeah.
but they get in trouble. Well, I would say
Because-
usually a man will get in trouble and go to jail, but a woman
We'll just get
would
away.
probably lose her life.
I mean, I think unfortunately the way that society is set up, it is set up off of a bias that women should be able to slide easier with
Yeah.
those things. So as a woman probably wouldn't get arrested the first time. A guy, he's going to jail
Yeah.
and he's going to get more of
He
those
has
things.
charges, yeah.
Right, but as a male, you have to be aware of, you know,
Your power.
your life. You have to be aware of the society that you live in. You know there's rules in place that probably don't work in your favor. If you're in a abusive relationship, leave. Same thing for women.
Yeah.
But for men, it's just set up to where it's probably harder for you.
Yeah.
You know, and then at the same time, it's like if someone's hitting you, you do have the right to defend yourself. So I can't really feel bad for the woman because, you know, you shouldn't be hitting
that, yeah.
at all. But neither person should stay in that situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Before we go to our question from the audience, I do have a question for you ladies.
Okay.
I know there's a lot of different type of abusive relationships, or even verbal abuse. But if a man is being abused and he stays, why do you think he stays? I know we say, oh, because of love when it comes to a woman, but why do a guy
guys
stay in a
love too.
situation
Yeah,
and
Some
he's
guys
being
love too.
abused?
He like that.
I know we
He
don't
like-
have a
he
guy
like
here
the
to
girl.
answer, but what do you guys think?
I feel like it's that he's in love too. You know, either he wants that family because he's been raised in a family, and there is men out there that's like that.
Yes.
They want that family.
Or
you don't want to leave.
Or insecurity.
Yeah.
But I will
it's
say
true.
this, and I think in this generation, tables have turned.
Mhm.
See, as women have gotten more dominant and
Yeah.
more in the household and are more in control, so that whole "I'ma hold you hostage financially and I'ma do you wrong," it's women are now doing it because
Yeah.
a woman that can sit there and take care of every single bill in the house, and in the minute you want to walk in and she starts flipping out on
Yeah.
him and gets abusive on him, the table has now completely turned. So and I think one of the things is, like I said, wrong is wrong, right is right.
Right.
A lot of the times a man may not call 911 as often because pride.
Right.
Yeah.
How it's gonna look, the cop shows up and it's like,
I'm
here go
getting
this girl 5'2" beating on me. So a lot of the times they may not go ahead and embrace that. So, I do have a question. Is harassing a form of abuse?
It could be.
Harassment.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Definitely. Doing something to anyone that they don't want done to them is abusive,
Yeah.
basically. I don't want that. Stop doing it. You should stop.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna go to my guys again.
Okay.
We need more guys on this show,
Yeah.
depending on the topic. So if you want to talk about something on this show, or you see a post of a topic that you're interested in, please send us an email, info@nextuptv.com.
Yeah.
Info again at nextuptv.com. But back to the guy situation. Do women make men feel less of a man due to their abuse?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Why do
telling
you
him
think
his
that?
stuff small. He gonna be like, man, my stuff is small, so no girl gonna want me, so I'm gonna stay with you. And you know, there's all different kind of abuse. You're worthless. You all stay, you know, be in the bed. You fat. Like all of that is abuse. Like a man will sit down, you know, and really think about it. Really and truly, men sit and think about situation and the words that a woman say more than a woman.
And then one thing what we like to do is compare. So with women, if we see anything outside of our relationship that it looks better, we will bring it back home and be like, you know what? That's why Johnny didn't treat Beth like that. Remember
Watching the Notebook.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? So that's one thing we have to learn. Like one thing I feel like when you get in a relationship, it's like you have to know. That's why it's like you gotta know these people, man, before you just rush into stuff. Because it's different living with somebody and not living with them.
Be falling in love on Instagram.
What?
Stop. She show up, y'all.
There is a comment I actually really do like this. I feel like men should call 911 when the woman is hitting on him, because if he doesn't, there's no paper trail, and if he puts his hands on her, then it's bad for him.
Right.
You know, because here goes her one call. You know, the one time he finally does lash out, and then you know, what he gonna do? She hit me too. It's like cops gonna be like, bruh. So you know, I think you create that paper, you create that documentation. You know, all of that is logged. And
Protect yourself.
And at the end of the day, you know, if you know truly you're not in the wrong, then handle the things accordingly.
Yeah.
So we're getting closer to the end of the show, so please share this video, share, comment. We need your help and support so this show can go global. I do have one more question for you ladies, and it's how do someone get help?
It's hard.
It's very hard. I think the first step to getting help would just be to tell people. Share. Just tell people.
Don't keep it in,
Everyone, believe it or not, everyone's going through a hard time. It may not be the same kind of hard time, but it's a hard time. And so just sharing, you know, you never know who may know someone who could help, who could introduce you to someone new, who can bring something into your life that inspires you to want something more. Just share. Share with people around you.
There's different hotlines that you guys can call as well. So after the show, we're going to post different links and different contact information in case you're going through this situation. We do want you to get help. And if you need someone to talk to, we're the new ladies. We're here to talk to you. You can come hang out with us at our studio. We can have a great time, and we'll help you get through the things that you're going through.
Definitely.
I am so happy that we talked about this topic, and for everyone that commented, thank you for sharing. And let us know what you want to see on the next show, because this show is for you guys. We do have a fashion show coming up.
We do.
Yes.
The Influence Fashion Show, January 28th.
Yes.
Tickets are on sale right now at nextuptv.com. There's VIP tickets and there's general admission. It's an all-white affair. We are currently still looking for designers, so if any designers are watching who would like to be part of the fashion show, contact us. Sponsors we're still looking for as well. And we just wrapped up our casting call the past 2 days, but we will be having a final one, the very final casting. Will be January 7th. You guys can look out for posters for that, flyers for information. It's going to be at the actual venue where the fashion show will be at, which is in Miami. So Miami models come out, Fort Lauderdale models come out. It's going to be a really, really great event. You guys.
Excited. If you guys missed any of our past shows, please visit nextuptv.com to get updated with what we have going on. And don't forget to tune in next week Sunday at 7 p.m.
Same time.
We do have a very important topic and maybe a special guest for you guys. The only way you'll find out is if you tune in this Sunday coming up. Thank you for tuning in to Next Up TV. New ladies, this is New Talk.
All right.
I'll talk to you.
So you don't have to, it don't end right when we finish up. You know, talk and smile while it's wrapping up.
What is Marcelo?
It's still going? It ain't
There's so many times.